Hi, everyone. My name is Lexi Stone. I'm here again with our WC Spotlight of the Month. I'm here with Nancy Mireles. Thank you so much for meeting with me today. How are you?
I'm doing great. Thanks for asking.
Good. Well, we asked you to become our member of the month, and I'm going to ask you a few questions just so that everyone else can get to know you a little bit better. So let's just go ahead and dive right in. So I asked you some questions for our newsletter, and the first question was, when did you become involved with the WC? And you said in 2013, a friend had brought you to a meeting. What was your initial reaction to that meeting? Did you feel, you immediately felt at home, or what really led you to join our organization?
So going to the meeting, I've done a lot of networking and community groups and stuff through business, and even prior to that in college and things. And so going to this meeting, I felt was very welcoming. Being new, I didn't feel like an outsider, so that really helped me want to stick around and stay. But I also just had this feeling of a little bit of untapped potential in the room. It just felt like they were doing really great things, but they had so much more they could continue. I could see like the vision that the current members had and the way they were interacting together. And it just, after even going just like even a couple of times, continued to have that feeling of there's so much more. There's so much more we can do and we can grow. And it just felt like I want to be a part of that.
I love that. I think that's a leadership quality when you can see something and you can look beyond what there already is there. And that's kind of like what we gather. I feel like everyone's like a leader in some way of wherever they come from, whether it's finance, whether it's banking. For me, the arts, like everyone's kind of in their own niche, but it makes that so much better with our organization, having all these people come together and
Yeah.
really make things move. Which brings me to my next question. So you mentioned that you were part of the Women's Executive Achievement Awards, or Women Achievement Awards, sorry,
Mhm.
um, back in like earlier 2013, 14 or whatnot. And you want to get back involved because you've taken some time off. Would you like to get back into the Women's Achievement Awards, or are you looking to get involved in a different group within our organization?
So yeah, maybe probably with Women's Achievement Awards. I mean, I love the event. I don't know the exact right role for me right now with the event. But I also just really love kind of the social activities, and the connection there. And I miss that. I think probably most of us miss that because I struggle a little bit of wanting to really dive in and take ownership somewhere, but also right now, just professionally and personally with my family, I have a lot of other demands. And so I have to counter my desire to jump in with both feet with what I'm actually capable of doing right now. So being a part of a committee, I think though is something I could do, at this time, and would really love it. I mean, as we can continue to like get back together and, do more things as a group, I'd love to just kind of see a little bit, be a little bit more involved in that again.
I think it was Laura Lynn said it to me, but I think Terry Benson said it to her that if you want something done, have a busy woman do it. So, because we're all just so good at, multitasking and whatnot. And so shout out to Laura and to Terry for that.
No doubt.
Um, Now I'm going to bring you to my last question, and this is kind of a big one. I asked you in our newsletter, what is a piece of advice you'd like to share with our scholarship recipients that you wish you had known when you were their age? And your answer was amazing. It said, perfection is not your end goal. It's okay to make mistakes. Mistakes are a part of life, and trying to be perfect will cause more stress and frustration than positivity and happiness. We all have things we could be better at. It's our job to recognize the areas of ourselves that we would like to improve and to work on them. It's up to each one of us to try new things, learn from our mistakes, apologize when appropriate, and move forward. Life is so much happier that way. I know for myself, I'm one of the younger members that just joined only a year ago, and I'm just getting kind of started in my newly found career within the dance world. And I know that I needed to hear that because I always am as a dancer and as just a woman, I think all women strive to be the perfect wife, the perfect, I'm not a mother yet, but mother, perfect friend, have like the perfect appearance of life. And we just put so much pressure on ourselves. And that's so hard. And I kind of wanted to, and I love that answer because it's just recognizing the bigger picture of what life really is all about. And I'm getting to my question, I promise. But so my question is about today, with today being an election day, one of the most important days in our American history. What advice would you not give only to our young people, but to everyone as we approach the end of this election and finding out who's going to be our next president?
So, well, I appreciate your feedback on my comment, and actually, I appreciate hearing it again. I mean, even though I just submitted that to you, a week ago, I
It
have
gets
to
lost.
constantly hear it too. I'm that's an area for myself that I constantly need to work on, and and you just sort of need to hear it again and like remember that like it's okay. Life happens, things are going on around us all of the time, and it probably does translate into today. A couple of things I would say is that I think we all have to find our own space where we can affect change, and recognize those areas. So whether it is something very personal about ourselves and our own leadership qualities, of being a mom or a wife or a professional and executive, whatever that role is that you play, and finding that, just own the piece that you want to affect change on. And as that translates into election day, I mean, I constantly talk to my husband about it too, because obviously this year's election is so overwhelming for so many of us. And sometimes I say it jokingly, but I really sort of mean it, in that some days I just want to stay in my own bubble and I want to affect change on my family. I have a 5-year-old son. And so some days that's as far as I can handle, is just making sure that he's having a productive day. Other days, I have the opportunity to interact and network and share my voice or my vision in whatever capacity, with other leaders and other professionals. And that's a different space to affect change. And so I think just recognizing that, and being aware of it, and just recognizing that things are going to happen outside of our control. And so we just have to own our piece of the puzzle, own it and stand up for it, and continue to just be aware, just be aware of that space that we're operating in.
I like that because we can focus on the big picture, which we do. We all think where we're at with our country and where we want to go, but really honing in on your own personal changes and your own personal beliefs too, and not being so distraught over the bigger things where it's just suffocating, I think is so important. And I love that you kind of put it that way. So no matter what happens tomorrow, whether you're celebrating, whether you're grieving, we are going to move forward together as a country and hopefully just come back together. Yeah.
Absolutely.
So
Absolutely.
with that said, the WC really encourages everyone to go vote. It's so important. We all know this. It is our, it's our right. It's huge, and we're all, big advocates. So we want you to go vote. Find your nearest place where you can go and do what you can, and we will find out tomorrow, I think. So, and with that said, November 11th is our next luncheon. We're super excited. We're going to be posting the details on this on Facebook later today. Please register. It's free. It's awesome. These people are amazing. Our speakers are wonderful. And yeah, we look forward to seeing you there. Thank you so
Thanks so
much,
much.
Nancy. Yes, and I hope you have a wonderful day.